exciting edition of American Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL, and online worldwide at 1300WMEL.com, sponsored by AVET Project. Folks, you know this program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please, get comfortable, grab a nice beverage, and you know what? I want you to grab a pen and paper, because we're always efforting to bring you good and important information that you can use and share with others. With that said, let's roll down the runway and get this show off the ground. Now, I usually have a co-pilot, but I'll just announce myself today because my co-pilot is absent. We'll get to that in a moment. I'm Garen Cohn. I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired legal advocate for veterans, and founder of AVET Project. Now, you all know my co-host Glenn McGuffey. He's retired Air Force, retired Brevard County Veterans Supervisor at the service office. And he's got some other things going on today on this beautiful Saturday, so we're going to let him pass, but we've got a great show lined up, some really important information, and I want to let you know I'm going to be introducing some guests here in just a moment. But remember, I told you I wanted to get that pen and paper handy, because we're always bringing you good stuff, folks. First of all, I have to tell you, Space Coast Community Law School, those of you that showed up for the Veterans Benefit Seminar, not last Thursday, but the week ago, it was an awesome experience for everybody. Lots of questions, lots of answers too. This is what you get from Space Coast Community Law School. Remember, it's free. That's right, it's our favorite word, free. And coming up, city ordinance laws by Chelsea Farrell, who's a lawyer here in town. That's an important issue, something that I think is probably going to pack the house. Day before that, up in Titusville, remember, we've got joint classes going on this term, and most importantly, they're free. The Debt and Consumer Law is being hosted by Andrew Steele on 9/24. On 9/25, the day after Thursday, it's City Ordinance and Laws, so you don't want to miss that. If you have not gotten registered for Space Coast Community Law School, you can do so easily enough. Just go to sccls.com. That stands for Space Coast Community Law School.com. I'm going to give you a telephone number. You can jot this down if you haven't registered, because first-time folks to the free seminars get a beautiful binder and an outline of what the program's going to be about, as well as a pen. Britta Hawkins from Telfer, Faraday, Anderson, and Hawkins put this together some 6 years ago, and she continues to outdo herself with these free legal seminars. You can reach her at 321-269-6833. Again, 321-269-6833, or better yet, go online, register. You can see all the class selections there. It's not too late. Plenty of classes coming up. sccls.com. Sierra Charlie Charlie Lima Sierra.com, and get signed up for that. I have to mention, because you're going to start hearing the promos on AM 1300 WMEL about Battle of the Branches. This is a huge event that's taking place November 1st, just south of Patrick Air Force Base. It's all about helping AVET Project help our military family. It's an incredible event where active duty teams of 10 and police and fire are provided entry for free. However, if you're a business or a church group or a fraternal organization like the VFW, American Legion, whoever you are, if you can bring 10 people together to participate in the foundational event behind this, which is the Pull Challenge. All right, we're going to be pulling a 26-ton Army Hemet. It's like a big tow truck. The minimum entry for that is $500, and you spread that across 10 people to go out there and fundraise. Certainly they can get $50 collected between themselves to total $500 for the minimum entry. It's going to be based on fastest pull, lowest combined weight, and top fundraiser. It's free to spectators. We're going to have vendors. We've got a bunch of them signed up already. Resources available, food, entertainment. Soldier Hard, you hear him on the intro to American Warrior Radio every week. He's going to be performing with some other Redcon 1 Folks, it's just an incredible opportunity for you to get out there in Satellite Beach and have some fun on Saturday, November 1st, starting at 8 a.m. And I have to emphasize, as my producer just wrote a note to me, lots of fun activities for the kids, okay? And it's free for the kids to come out there. Bottom line, it's a secured area south of the base. You're going to have fun. There's a 5K run, walk, and obstacle course. Just to enter that, it's only 10 bucks, folks. The t-shirts cost more than half of that. So get online, go to avetproject.org, Alpha Victor Echo Tango Project.org, and find out more about it, or click on the Facebook icon, lower left corner of the homepage, and you'll see all kinds of information, as well as some great people that have gotten involved in helping us make this happen and are sponsoring it. Now, I can't wait any longer. Listen to this, everybody. I hope it comes through loud and clear. I am ringing the bell, and I got the ladies here to help me. It's Let Freedom Ring Constitution Day. Now, I have with us in studio right now some wonderful ladies from the Commodore John Berry chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution right here in Melbourne Beach, Florida. I want to just go around the room and give each of you a chance to introduce yourselves.
Thank you, Garen. I'm Debbie Plagg, the Regent of Commodore John Berry chapter. We're a new chapter, less than 2.5 years old, and we're excited to be in the community and showing the service that our DAR chapter does.
I'm Connie Wetzel. I'm the chaplain of Commodore John Berry, and I've been in the DAR 66 years.
I'm Daphne Swatek, and I'm the newest member of Commodore John Berry chapter of the DAR.
Well, welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on this beautiful Saturday here on the Space Coast. DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution. Debbie, tell us real quick what that involves. What is DAR? What is Daughters of the American Revolution?
We're an organization that was founded in 1890. We all show direct lineage to a patriot that gave service to the United States to win their independence from Great Britain. We are one of the largest genealogy libraries in the United States, perhaps the world. The documentation must be verified, and I think with the opening of the computer and the internet, it's easier for people to start checking their lineage.
Now, why is that important? You have to have your lineage checked in order to become a member of the DAR?
It not only has to be documented. You have to produce birth certificates, death certificates, marriage certificates, that kind of thing. If I have someone that's interested as a new member, I ask for the first 3 generations, them being Generation 1, and then my very well and talented lineage research committee will find the patriot. Then we will begin to assemble the needed documentation, and we will then submit a application to National, which is at 1776 G Street in Washington.
Love that
DC.
address.
It is. I wonder why. That process will begin. Daphne is one of our is our newest member, and the application that was required of her was far more detailed than the one that Connie would have done 66 years ago, because we didn't have the ability back then to get those documentations. So what's at the DAR library is documentation, Bible records, actual Bible records, no way to copy them. They had to be the original documents. So it's a trove of wonderful genealogy for the entire United States.
That was very well stated, and I want to ask, just kind of pinpoint this issue. So from 1775 to 1783, is that the qualifying period?
That's correct, that's correct. But however, they're opening those guidelines a little bit if they have gave service, not just fought in the war, but aided by maybe donating hay to the troops. So we've luckily opened that up to being service as well. And it's opening more patriots, especially more women patriots that really weren't recognized, and actually Indian patriots, because they hadn't been documented and now they can be. It's exciting.
So the influx of immigrants during the last century would not even qualify. We're talking about family genealogy going back to prior to the Revolutionary War and during.
That's the premise. However, there are other heritage groups out there that you can celebrate your heritage. In fact, this year, and I'm kind of excited about it, there's the 125th anniversary of Ellis Island, and actually 30% of our population had come directly through Ellis Island, and I'm hoping as a DAR chapter to put together a program, hopefully with the Genealogy Society of South Brevard, to encourage people to look for that lineage.
I'm confident you'll do that. I've seen, now you mentioned this particular chapter has only been formed a couple years ago, right?
Correct.
Now, how long have you been a member of DAR?
I actually am a relatively new member. I think I joined in 2009. 2009. Actually, it's a little funny story.
Please share.
Yeah. There's a son of the American Revolution, and actually they were the first organization, and they kicked the women out in 1890, but there you go. So my son, who's now approaching 40, wanted to join the Sons of the American Revolution and said, Mom, if you join the Daughters of the American Revolution, in other words, do the paperwork,
Get him pre-qualified?
then I'd be qualified to join the Sons of the American Revolution. So I did so. He has been to 2 meetings. I am now knee-deep in a full-time job. So when he was getting ready to go to his second meeting, he calls and he said, Mom, which side were we on?
No. And you cleared him up on that, right?
No, I just gave him silence, which works. But I think he had his words confused. I don't know.
Well, I have to ask, now, we have in the studio with us one of the longest serving members here, particularly in this chapter, but probably close to in the Daughters of the American Revolution National. 66 years though, Connie. Come on, that's a long time.
Yeah, yes it is, but I'm not, there are people who have been in longer.
All right, so
They're
you're
just older than I am, that's all.
Yeah, you're still a young punk compared to some of those I heard.
Sort of.
Now, the Commodore John Berry chapter, being so young, obviously you've been involved in other chapters prior to this, and now you've assumed the role of chaplain for this chapter.
Right.
How have you seen it grow? Is this, because we're branching out and we're starting a new chapter, I think that's great.
This is the most active chapter I've ever been in. This is the 5th chapter I've helped organize, and this
Wow.
in my DAR experience, because I came in on my mother's number back in 1948.
Explain that, your mother's
And
number.
my mother was a DAR. She went into DAR in 1935, I believe it was. And when I reached the age of 18, she requested papers, and we submitted them on me. And then I became a member. Because as a DAR, you must be 18 to become an active DAR. You can be a junior member from 18 to 35, but below 18, you are a children of the American, or a child of the American Revolution.
Okay, so it is a separate group, so we're not excluding the kids, kind of a stepping stone for
Right.
kids.
Right.
But they have to have that familial or that genealogical association as well.
Yeah, that's correct.